Welcome to the Mallard Report. I'm your host, Jim Mallard. Before the Fast Hour and Paranormal Talk Radio starts, please go over to Facebook. Welcome to the Mallard Report. I'm your host, Jim Mallard. Before the Fast Hour and Paranormal Talk Radio starts, please go over to Facebook.com/iTalkParanormal and give it a like. And leave a message telling me what show you're listening to. I enjoy the fan feedback.
The opinions expressed on the Mallard Report are those of the host and participants and are not intended to and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any simulcasting radio network or sponsor. All listeners are advised to make their own decisions.
It's the Mallard Report, yeah, the Mallard Report, the paranormal talk radio show with Jim Mallard as your host. See what life's beneath, any paranormal activity, go inside a world that others don't want to see. It's the Mallard Report, yeah, the Mallard Report.
I want to welcome everybody to tonight's show. Tonight's sponsor is Kimberly Simon. Unleashing Your Shameless Woman is not another intellectual exercise or informational class, but exploring your inner terrain to light yourself. It all boils down to basically what stuff you bottle up and how it impacts your life. And I've been part of the development of this program. It's a good program. So go over to KimberlySimon.com or just come over to iTalkParanormal.com and click the banner ads. All good stuff. The class runs 6 weeks, starting here in a couple weeks, so get signed up today. My guest tonight, this is what I failed to mention. I have a big question mark by it. My guest tonight is Bill. How do you say your last name, Bill?
Oberst, O-B-E-R-S-T, Jim. Bill-oberst-jr.
I wanted to say that, but I was afraid that I'd probably slaughter it and you'd be like, no.
People always go to extremes. I get like, hello, Bill, and I'm like, dude, it's Oberst, O-B-E-R-S-T. It's not hard.
Well,
I want to ask you,
who
created that theme song that you've got? It's really great.
I have a guy on Fiverr.com who says, hey, I'll have to give him any credit or anything. I bought the song, and I can get you a link if you need some more music like that. But he's just a lot. And at the end of the song, I have a different one. It's I sent him the message, I want an Irish drinking song theme. And it kind of is, kind of isn't, but it's cool. I like it. So I've got another project for him, but I'm not sure if I want to
I love it. It's one of the best theme songs I've heard.
I don't know if I want to do like the redneck, or not the redneck days, the 12 days of paranormal investigating for Christmas, or like...
Ooh, that's good.
I don't know. I've got a few ideas floating around, but that might be the one I'm going with because I've been jotting a lot of notes about it. So, So how are you doing tonight, Bill? First, I want to thank you for your time. It seems like we were joking about how busy you are, but it's good to be busy. I'm telling you right now.
Thanks, man. I'm glad to be with you. And for your listeners who don't know who the hell I am, I'm an actor.
Well, I've been promoting you as the star of Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies. Is that accurate? Is that the bill that I should be putting out there, or is there another role?
Well, I play Lincoln in it. Yeah, absolutely. I guess the thing that people probably know me best for, beside Lincoln versus Zombies, is take-this-lollipop, which was a Facebook application that won an Emmy last year. I think it's still the fastest-growing Facebook application of all time. It's had over 100 million hits. And a slew of independent horror movies, a couple of Hallmark movies. Got about 102 IMDb credits, so I try to stay busy.
Well, wait. Horror movies and Hallmark movies. Let's touch the brakes right there. How does that... I mean, I know it's all in the skill, but that seems like a range of skills to have.
You know, you sound like Michael Landon Jr., Michael Landon's son, who directed these 2 Hallmark movies that I've been in, and there'll be a third one. When he cast me for the first one, he said, I really like your stuff, but I got to sell you to the network. And I knew exactly what he was talking about, because I have all these horror movies on my resume. But he was very, very cool. Because people in the industry understand that, actors have to work and you get branded as a certain way. And I really enjoy horror. I love it. But it's nice sometimes to do an occasional other thing. I played an Amish father in those Hallmark movies. And while I didn't kill anybody, I beat the hell out of the guitar, so I had at least that.
I can see the connection there. I see you. I've been seeing the picture of you as Lincoln. I can kind of make the transition there. Oh, I wanted to tell you before we get into this other stuff, no TMZ moment tonight. I don't think I want to end your career on the show, so unless you want to. I mean,
what do you mean?
Like that soundbite that's is going to get blown up, like you call Obama a scumbag or something. I don't know. It's just
I'm a very polite Southern boy. I don't think I'm capable of a TMZ moment. I was raised with people who would say, like, after somebody just went off and cursed like crazy, the people I was raised with would say, well, they weren't as nice as they possibly could have been, were they?
No, that's true. I just had to throw it out. I just had to throw it out there.
Thank you.
I wouldn't like the publicity, but I don't want to have it at your expense. So
I'm going to tell you something, Jim, and you may know this from talking to other people in the horror industry, but the people who do these heinous things on screen, like last night I branded a witch. My voice is a little groggy because I was up all night branding this chick, and it's like the third chick that I branded in 2 years. I just spent 5 weeks in Texas playing a necrophiliac clown. I mean, I do awful, awful things on screen. But all of us guys and girls who do these awful things, we're usually pretty sweet, nice people. I think because we get it all out on screen.
I was going to say, I think because you get to act it out on a regular basis, and then you can calm down and be normal. As normal
That's right.
As normal as some people can be.
Once you rape and pillage and rip a guy's face off while he's still alive, then normal violence just seems boring, silly, and unnecessary because you've already, I don't know, it's like it's very cathartic to do these things, and then you're very chill afterwards.
Makes sense to me, but what do I know? So
that's what I always say. What the hell do I know? I'm just an actor. That's my motto.
Well, I read that you've been behind the camera a few times. Is that what you want to do, or do you want to keep acting? No,
I think every actor has delusions of being able to do everything as part of the actor sickness and neuroses that we all have. I have not ventured to think, hey, I'm a director. I haven't done that stuff yet, but have helped to produce a couple of things. It's making a movie is so hard, and especially on an indie level, that it's good to be able to not just sit in your trailer and say, I'll be here when you need me. Like last night, I was helping move furniture around and helping rig lights, and it's good to be able to do everything. I understand that, because doing this radio show has taught me how to produce my own show and promote my own show and all that good stuff, so I understand that completely. I think it's really good. I mean, I've spent 14 years in theater before I did this, and 14 years in touring theater. So I'm used to loading in and loading out to theaters in the middle of the night and doing makeup in cold bathrooms and sometimes cleaning the bathroom because it wasn't clean enough, so I'd bring my own Comet and stuff. So, it makes you humble because you realize, life is too short to be a bitch. That's true. You heard it here first. So, I've got a couple. You sent me a couple projects that you want to talk about, of course. So that's fine. That's good. I like talking about what you. These are what, post-production or nearing post-production, like the word of Bateman. That's probably close to being done. I don't have that right in front of me. I should have wrote more notes down than the title of it. But yes, there's a project called Lord Bateman, and Lord Bateman is a demon film. I haven't done a demon film. And I'm working with director Joe Hendrick on it. We're hoping to film it in Europe next year. The concept of this thing, I believe in dreams, and a message is coming through dreams. I'm a Christian, and that's part of the background of the faith. But also just in general, I believe that dreams are more than just disconnected thoughts trying to organize themselves. And so I started having this dream, Jim, like last year, and I dreamed it repeatedly, seeing myself as this red-skinned classic demon, like, the devil with the tail. And it just wouldn't go away. It just wanted to get out. And so I got on Craigslist. I found a photographer, a couple models, and a makeup artist, and I said, let's do this shoot of this guy who's like a half human, half demon, and he's terrorizing these girls. And we did the shoot and put the pictures up, and I was like, okay, I got that out of my system. And then I did a film with Joe Hendrick, and we're on the set, and I'm telling him about this, showing him some of these pictures. He says, we've got to turn this into a movie. So it snowballed, and now it's the story of a European nobleman who keeps having these dreams, and he becomes increasingly convinced that he really is a demon, and that his whole life on Earth is an illusion, and that he's slowly reverting back to the demon. And so that's what the project is all about. If people want to look at some pictures, you can Google Lord Bateman, B-A-T-E-M-A-N. And you can see, some of the early concept photos and some of the stuff from getting together for the movie. We're gathering investors now. Truthfully, I'm not normally a movie person, but some of these things that you've been talking about, like I've seen the Lincoln vs. Zombie movie, so I might be a fan of yours, even though I'm not a real movie fan. So we're gonna have to keep this in mind. Well, thank you, man. I love my work, and I like movies that make you think. That's what I'm a fan of the most of all. My favorite horror movie of all is The Exorcist. because it was a little bit ambiguous. It's good versus evil, but both are very, very strong. You're not sure at the end who has won and whether it's a victory at all, and I love that kind of stuff.
That's what I tell people about my songs. I'd rather have them speak to me or for me instead of just being a good song. So movies,
yeah,
it's a little bit tougher with a movie, though. It's good to hear that there's some passion going into that. So the next thing I want to make sure we got out was the Circus of the Dead. Now, that just seems like a fun title. Is it a...
It is.
No.
It's a horrid movie, and I don't mean a bad movie. I mean a movie dealing with horrid subject matter. I played a necrophiliac clown. I spent 5 weeks in Texas doing this. They spent a lot of money on it, and they really got it right. They did some of the classic clown makeup from the turn of the century, like the Victorian-type clowns, which are even scarier than the Bozo clowns. So we got a group of clowns, and the way the director explained it to me, he said, Bill, they're serial killers, but their day job happens to be as circus clowns. So director Billy Pond got us all on set in Odessa, Texas, dressed us as clowns, and had us do the most brutal acts of violence I have ever committed on screen or ever seen in a script. I mean, this is balls to the wall violence, Jim. It's just like these clowns mean no good. So it's not going to be a movie for kids. It's pretty hardcore. And the worldview of this director is bad things happen. You know, there's different ways to approach bad things, like bad things happen for a reason, bad things happen, but you can avoid them, but his is just bad things happen. And so the motto for the movie is, the circus is coming, hide.
Yeah, I would imagine if bad things were happening in town. I mean, most people don't like clowns to begin with.
I don't know why that is. I have no aversion or fear of clowns at all. But I know that many people do. It's called colorophobia. I did not know until I did this film that there's a corresponding condition called colorophilia, which is the erotic attraction to clowns. But as soon as I started posting these pictures of the clowns from the movie, I started getting these mails from these girls who were into clowns. Go figure. I'm going to tell you, Jim, there's something for everybody.
I was going to say, I had no idea, but now that you mention it, it kind of surprises me, but it's kind of like, yeah, I can kind of see that.
Nothing surprises on the Internet. And that movie will be out in May, and that plus Children of Sorrow will be my two big theatrical releases for next spring. I'm excited about both of them.
Well, that's the next thing on my notes, Children of Sorrow. So since you're doing such a good job of being a segue artist here, let's segue right into that.
I'm an old DJ, man. That's what I do, mix the songs together. Children of Sorrow is a movie about cult leaders in a desert. It's a really disturbing film. It's very, very low-key. The director, Jordan McClure, he wanted to do a horror film without the gore. And so he said, let's see if we can make people's skin crawl and make them very, very uncomfortable without buckets of gore. And I think he did it. We won awards at 2 film festivals, including Shockfest in Hollywood, won the top award there in Best Actor. And then After Dark Films picked it up. They're the company that's famous for the 8 films to die for. And After Dark is releasing it in the spring. And they think it's going to be a big movie, and I hope that it is too. People who have seen it have said, I'm not sure that I'm glad I saw that, but now it can never be unseen. Variations of that comment came up again and again. And I really, really like that. You know, the fact that they're like, this is going to be stuck in my head now. That's what a movie should do.
Yeah, it should leave a mark. I mean, I don't want to say mark, but it should leave an impression, there's a better word, on your mind and leave a lasting impact. Good, bad,
I like Mark.
Okay.
Casablanca left a mark on me. Going to Win left a mark on me. Amadeus left a mark on me. These are big themes that are stuck in my mind, and they helped illuminate the story of my own life. They meant something to me. I think that's what cinema's for. Man, I do not believe, I work with a lot of directors, and I disagree with them, who believe that cinema is supposed to be a strict representation of reality. I don't believe that. I think cinema is a time to play. You're painting pictures with light. Why stick to real life? I live real life, and it's pretty boring. So do you.
Yeah, I was going to say, why would we want to see real life? I mean, hello, I see it 24/7. I don't need to see it every day. That's why it baffles me about reality TV being so popular. I don't get it. I mean, it's a different reality, but
I don't either. And it's not real, of course. It's as fake as the rest. But I don't understand why there's this interest in making things real. I don't want things to be real. This is a business of illusion and fantasy. When I listen to if I listen to Black